YTV Flaxton Boys, VTR 3405, Episode 5, Take 1.
In 1854, Britain was at war. Her enemies were the Russians. Though the noise and clatter of battle did not disturb the peace and tranquility of the Yorkshire countryside, there were enemies, even here, who continued their work uninterrupted. Except, perhaps, for the intrusions caused by curious and inquisitive young boys like Jonathan and his friend, Archie Weeks.
It is no trouble, none whatsoever.
It's an awful imposition, ma'am.
We're only too pleased for the company.
My men are very well behaved and are thankful to have a warm roof over their heads. They'll look to their manners, I promise you. It's been a long haul, and we still have a long way to go.
But this is a strange route to take, surely. I should have thought it would have been quicker and easier to go by the main highway from Stockton to London.
Yes, ma'am, but my orders are to follow the quietest route, not the fastest.
Really?
A matter of some secrecy, ma'am.
This is no way to enter a room. What will our guest think of you?
I'm sorry, sir.
Sorry. This is Captain Stearman. He and his men are spending the night at the Hall.
How splendid!
He's come all the way from Stockton, and he is making for the arsenal at Woolwich, just outside London. And while he is here, he would be pleased to enjoy a little peace and quiet. Captain, my noisy son, Jonathan, and his friend Archie.
Pleased to make her acquaintance, gentlemen. And it is not difficult to see which one of you is Captain Flaxton's son.
You know my father, sir?
Oh, I do indeed. I saw him not 10 weeks ago, as I was about to tell your mother.
In the Crimea?
On the very eve of the great charge at Balaclava. A fine officer and a... Have I said something amiss, ma'am?
We received news that the captain is missing.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I had no idea.
How would you know?
That doesn't necessarily mean he's dead, sir.
Of course not.
Perhaps you could tell us about charge, sir.
I fear not. I left the Crimea the day before it.
Are you a cavalryman, sir? No, the captain is a gunner. Royal Artillery.
Royal Horse Artillery.
But what about that cannon, then? Are you taking it to Crimea?
Eventually, yes, or others like it. The gun makers will copy from it.
It's all covered up and guarded.
Yes, well, it's a very special gun. A new design. The work of an inventor in Stockton-upon-Tees. You see, the breech is...
The breech?
I'm sorry, lads, I can't tell you any more. It's a secret. And I must have your word of honor that you will not speak a word of the gun or of our presence here today to another living soul.
Solomon, sir. And mine, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And now I think you two have both taken up quite enough of the captain's time.
Oh, Mother.
Off you go, the pair of you.
Will we see you again later, sir?
I'm sure.
A new and secret design.
Aren't you the most agitated gentleman?
O'Neill, you're late. Where have you been?
Well, I haven't been playing ring-a-rosies all this afternoon. I had to steal this stuff from the quarry. It's over 5 miles away.
How much did you get?
Oh, enough.
And the men?
Oh, ready and willing, like I told you, and you can trust them. All decent Irish emigrant lads like myself. And they've no love for the English, I can tell you. I hope you have them golden sovereigns ready. It wouldn't do to lose you suddenly when this lot is over, would it now, Mr. Regelov?
I shall keep to my part of the bargain.
I've no doubt about that, sir.
You know where it is, the gun?
Aye, Flaxton Hall. And they got a mounted escort with them, staying overnight.
I didn't expect them to be here so soon. They've made good time since leaving Stockton.
You didn't tell me, sir, that they'd have an armed escort with them, did you?
I assumed, of course, you would have the intelligence to realize that.
The lads will want more money.
I will pay 2 sovereigns extra for each man. Not 1 penny piece more.
Good. It means a lot to you, sir, doesn't it, this job? No. You can save all that rusky language until you get back to the Crimea. Don't let anybody hear you talking like that around here, or you'll end up in the tower, quick as a wink. If you want this cannon, and you need us to get it for you, remember that.
I do not want this cannon. I want to examine it, that is all. I am an ordnance engineer, not a thief. It has a detachable breech. If the design is good, I want to copy it.
Copy it.
It will be used by the Imperial Russian Army.
Oh, I don't want to be bothered about things like that. The only thing interests people like us is the money. Now listen, this plan of yours, how does it work?
The idea is simple. The execution difficult. The bridge must be weakened at these points. Here and here. Explosives. Explosives are the only way. Exactly the right amount at the right spot. However, I am worried about the noise of the explosions.
That's no problem. They'll be blasting down there all tomorrow morning, and the noise from that will cover it.
You're certain about
Yes,
this?
wasn't me cousin Rafferty talking to the governor yesterday morning looking for a job.
Very well, then. We shall explode the powder early. As soon as the weight of the cannon crosses the span, it will collapse.
And then the gun will fall into the stream below.
Brilliant. Correct. We shall be here. Huh? Here, on the other side of the bridge, with your men innocently working upon repairing the road. As soon as the bridge collapses, we rush to the side.
And offer the soldiers our able assistance to get the gun out of the water.
But we shall take plenty of time about the work.
So that you, disguised as one of us, can go down and take a good look at the thing.
Tak, точно. I have an excellent memory. The details of that movable breach will remain imprinted upon it.
Oh, good shot, Master Gunner. Are they still there?
Well,
Of course, they'll be there all night. They've got to protect it from the Queen's enemies.
the Queen? Aye, it's the Queen.
God bless her.
Does Queen really have enemies here in England?
Oh, yes. There's sure to be one or two lurking about.
I wish we could see Canon.
It's a new secret design.
But we're not Queen's enemies.
Yes. He might have given us just a little peep. No, they'd probably cut Marceline if he did. Archie, do you remember that bad-tempered artist fellow? I've forgotten until now. But did you notice he didn't have any coloured paints?
No, I didn't, did I?
And that was a pretty uninteresting picture of the bridge he was doing, wasn't it?
I didn't pay it much heed.
Just lines, really. More like a sort of plan. Anyway, I think mine's a much better drawing. Don't you?
Thank you once again for your hospitality, Ma'am.
It was my pleasure, Captain.
Perhaps we may meet again when the war is over.
Yes, I hope so. And, Captain, when you do get back to the Crimea...
I shall do all in my power to find out what I can about Captain Flaxton. You can rest assured of that, Ma'am.
Well, that's the end of that then.
Wish they could have stayed a bit longer.
They looked fine riding away, didn't they?
Hope it's not too long before I can join the army.
Will you join your father's regiment?
I don't know. That was a jolly smart uniform Captain Sturman wore.
I shall be a gunner.
Hey, Archie. Would you like to see them again?
Who?
Captain Sturman and his men. We could catch up easily to them at Carston Bridge.
But that's miles away.
Of course it is by road, but if we cut through Flaxton Woods and across Farmer Gillis's land, I bet if we ran all the way, we'd be there in half an hour.
Aye, and we could see him as they cross bridge.
Come on, then.
Well, are they?
I don't know. They saw me yesterday at the bridge when I was making the preliminary sketches.
Get some rope!
Yeah, shut up!
Hurry up with that rope! It's like trying to hold a pair of jumping jackrabbits.
Let me go!
Ah, for the living...
What are you doing at that bridge?
Nothing that would interest you!
I warn you, there's a troop of soldiers coming this way.
Aye, we know.
All right, get back to the bridge.
And send Rafferty onto the hill.
These ropes hurt.
Yeah. You ought to be thankful it's not around your neck.
Enemies of the Queen, and I'll wager you're a Russian what's more.
He's got your measure all right, sir. No. We're not having any of that.
But they'll know me again.
You'll be well away from the scene before anybody comes to free them.
Help!
Very well. But first, let us ensure that no one hears them. Wasted enough time already. The powder should be exploded by now.
Sit tight, lads. When all this is over, I'll send one of my fellas back to free you. Maybe tomorrow. All right. Yeah.
That's better. At least I can shout for help now. No, you're quite right. I can't do that. We'll only fix that wretched artist fellow back. At all costs, Archie, we've got to get word to Captain Sturman. If only there was a knife or something. bridge, Jonathan.
More than likely.
Then Captain Sturman.
I know.
What are we going to do?
Run and get help. That explosion must have weakened the bridge.
Aye, we'll never get past them.
They're loose! Take them! Stay there!
We'll not get through 'em.
We've got to try. Come.
Hey, get them!
Stop! Come on in here! Stop! They've weakened the bridge.
Underneath!
Them!
On in! Run! Get away! Ich bescheiße! On in! Run!
Major Nicholas Razalov, an ordnance engineer of the Imperial Russian Army. It seems he landed in England some time ago.
A spy, Captain.
Aye, and a very dangerous one. If it hadn't been for these lads, ma'am, the wretched fellow might have succeeded only too well.
Yes. But I'm not sure in my own mind whether they should be applauded for their courage or chastised for their foolhardiness.
Well, that is your decision, ma'am. I would only point out that my commanding officer was mightily pleased at the way they conducted themselves in this affair.
Tea.
And so, with the help of the boys, Razalov the spy was caught. But all too soon, Captain Stearman rode away from Flaxton Hall, leaving Jonathan, Archie, and Lucy alone again. Alone, and still surrounded by the mysteries that seemed to haunt the house.